Good morning. In another video, I told you about the the CSA box I get from my local farmer. And usually, the whole box cost me $36. It lasts for 2 weeks. Usually the last thing I end up with is kale. The curly kale. I like kale, but it's not my favorite. Now, you might think, veggies that are 2 weeks old almost, and it's still good. Well, they're so fresh that they are good. But to rejuvenate them and make them crispy, I soak them in some cold water where I add some kind of vinegar. Today it was apple cider vinegar. So there it is. Happy kale. Sorry about that. So take it out of the water. I added a few beet greens too that were just so limp and horrible looking, and they are so crisp right now, just for being in the vinegar water. So that is a good trick. And kale needs a lot of handling for a salad that I'm going to make. The salad is going to be kale, apples, roasted beets, some dressing, and maybe some pepitas, some roasted salted pepitas that I've got. Just like to use up stuff, because when that new box comes in on Monday, I need all the space I can get. My refrigerator's kind of small. Well, I've got some beets, some golden beets. I'm just going to rinse them in the same vinegar water. Give them a little rub with my hands, because they just got a little bit of dirt on them. Not much. I've trimmed the leaf ends, but I'm leaving the root end on. Okay. And I'm putting them in a cast iron pan that has some aluminum foil in them. I'm gonna salt and pepper these, put a little oil on them. Just a drop, basically, of oil. And then I'll just rub them. That was a big drop, so I'm not going to pour any more on. This helps get the skin off later. It's a good trick. Okay, rinse my hands. And a little bit of salt and pepper. Much. Always more pepper than salt. And then I'm going to wrap them up nice and snug in this foil. And I put them in a cast iron pan. Cast iron's my favorite. And I'll stick these in a 425-degree oven for 45 minutes to an hour. I'll check them at 45 minutes. And then we'll do some more kale. It's kale chopping time. So I'm going to use one of these. When I remember, I like to sharpen my knife. I use this kind of sharpener. I've tried all kinds of sharpeners, electric, manual pull-throughs, with different angles. I always come back to this. If you're not used to using it, just place it like this, run your knife down on both sides. You don't have to press hard. You're just trying to hone the edge. just bring it down like you're shaving off a piece of the steel. Once you get used to it a little more, you can hold it in your hand and do it like this. So, nice sharp knife. Nice, crisp, curly kale. I just bunch it up in my hand and cut through it like this. And kind of make chunks of kale. Keep my fingers out of the way. I'm not in any hurry. It's not like I'm doing this at the last minute or working in a restaurant like I did for many years. So I'm just taking my time, taking my own sweet time. I like to go through it again the opposite way and make it smaller. And the reason I do that is because I'm going to be massaging the kale. And the smaller it is, the easier that job goes. So that went pretty fast, eh? Do it once more. Cut through. Notice I'm just putting the edge of the knife down and pressing. I'm not doing that. Just like this. Keeping my fingers out of the way. Piece like that, let me just cut in half. And then go back the opposite way. Just give it a chop. These ones at the end, I'll do like that. Okay, so I will finish that. The kale is all chopped. That didn't take long. And they're in different size pieces. Some of them are like that. Some of them are bigger. And some of them are small. Okay, I'm going to do a little salt. I'm just using this pink salt because that's what I got. And just a tad bit of oil. And I'm using avocado oil. That's what I got. And now it's massage time. The first time I ever heard about massaging kale was only, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And I'm so glad I learned about it because it tenderizes the kale. It makes it a lot easier to chew. This is for a raw kale salad. So the salt helps break it down. And the oil makes it squish together a little better, and it's also a good moisturizer. So, I mean, look at how much this bowl was full of kale. And just after that minute of massaging, what a difference, eh? So I'm just going to massage it for a little while longer. Maybe another minute or so. Just to break it down. And then I'm going to let it sit for a bit. And I will drain out any excess water that's accumulated at the bottom of the bowl. So I was looking at this bowl. The stainless steel bowl that's been in my mom's possession as long as I've been alive. And that's 67 years. And this bowl, I'm sure, has had so much use. My mom did a lot of baking. She cooked everything pretty much from scratch up until her last days at the lovely age of 99. And the bowl is a stainless steel bowl, and the name on the bottom is Vollrath, Vollrath. So, if that's a history, I don't even know. I've never even heard of a Vollrath, and I just looked at it this morning. You know what? That is enough massaging. This looks really good. I'm just gonna taste a piece. Yeah, man. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit and drain out any water. And then I'll be adding some apples and pumpkin seeds and other stuff and dressing. And I'll show you that later. There is the salad. Apples, I found some peppers, pumpkin seeds, and kale. I'll be adding some beets. They're still too hot right now, so I'm gonna put some dressing on this so it can all marinate, and then I'll add the beets. So this is just a vinaigrette I made the other day. We had a orange and beet salad. It is apple cider vinegar, avocado oil, some mixed herbs, dried herbs, some mustard, salt and pepper. Let's just add that. And give it a toss. That's another thing about these nice bowls. They're big enough to give a nice toss. Smells good. Okay. In the refrigerator this goes. That'll be a nice tasty kale salad. Woo-hoo.